Hi, Emily. Sorry to say this, but James is mine now. He said that he wants to marry me and not you.
What?
Seems like yesterday was your third anniversary, but he didn't show up at the restaurant. Plus, you couldn't reach him, right? He was with me, actually.
You're kidding, right?
I'm telling you the truth. You were going to marry him soon, right? Sorry.
Why would you do this? We were best friends in middle school.
Let me tell you the truth. I couldn't stand you marrying before me and to a rich guy. Also, it's frustrating to not have a boyfriend at 30 years old.
Age doesn't matter when it comes to love, you know. You will find someone one day and get married.
Shut up! Are you making fun of me?
Of course not. If you knew about this, why didn't you congratulate me? It's normal for friends to do that, you know. Anyways, you have no problem breaking our long-time friendship because of this?
Money is more important than friendship, so I don't care.
Money?
You were a great friend, but I never received a friend allowance from you. James, on the other hand, is going to give me an allowance and also promise to spoil me even for our anniversary and birthday. Has he ever done this to you? I don't think so. So, I don't really care about friendship anymore.
Wow.
So, yeah, he's done with you and so am I. So you are not invited to the wedding. If you want to see pics of the wedding, feel free to check my social media. Did I tell you my account? I will send you it just in case.
Immediately after. James, I just got a chat from Brittany that you guys spent the night together. Are you serious?
What?
If you wanted to break up with me, then just say so, you asshole. Don't you dare ignore my calls.
Damn, I thought you were crying in the corner eating a lot of ice cream. See? This is why you got dumped, Emily.
What are you talking about? Got dumped?
Well, I will apologise for cheating on you, but I met a woman who is a million times better than you. Isn't it normal for a guy wanting to marry a hot woman?
Are you telling me to forgive you? You're kidding me, right?
Hey, can you blame me? Brittany is so much hotter than you. I didn't know you had a friend who once won the beauty contest.
You don't feel bad for me at all? Your attitude is really disgusting.
Aren't you the one that said to spit everything out? Well, I did apologise. One more thing. We've been dating for 3 years, so I still have feelings for you, so if you can't find anyone, I can be your second husband.
Excuse me?
You should be thankful, don't lie. You're happy, right?
Shut the fuck up. Second husband? Are you kidding me? No, thank you. We're done as of today. Don't contact me anymore.
Are you sure you want to break up with a rich guy like me? Well, don't be crying for help in the future.
You too. Who cares if you are rich? What you did deserves a punch in the face. Karma will happen someday, you know. When that happens, please don't cry and come apologize, because it will be too late.
Wow, a speech from a girl that just got dumped. I never regretted anything in my life, so... Anyways, I'll block you as you wish. Bye. Good luck finding a guy who's better than me, which you never will.
A month later.
Emily, I have big news. James and I officially got married.
Congratulations. You guys are meant for each other because you two are trash.
Are you jealous? Well, James is mine now, so we are going to be celebrities and will enjoy life.
I'm not jealous at all, actually.
Oh my god, guess what? He's going to give me a diamond ring for the wedding. We went to go see diamonds yesterday, and let me tell you, there were so many to choose from. He even said that any ring will look good on me. How sweet is that?
Yeah, that is really sweet of him.
Right? I was so embarrassed because everyone could hear him. But I love how he says his feelings without worrying about where he is. He even says I love you every day in the car. Oh, I'm talking about a private car with a personal driver, Not a regular one, okay? James gave it to me as a gift for the wedding.
What? He never even gave me anything when we got engaged.
Oh no, really? That seems like he never loved you. Nope, that's not possible. I think it's because he loves me more.
Maybe so.
Sorry for being his happy. I am so glad that I stole him away from you, otherwise I wouldn't be able to live this life.
Well, I'm glad that you are happy even though you lost a friend.
Yes! You should hurry up and get married, Emily. A few of my friends got married last month, so... Should I tell you what I did to find a future husband? I can tell you if you want to.
Excuse me?
Let me tell you what I did. I started dating app and searched for guys all day. Went to at least 10 marriage counseling and went on a blind date at least 3 times per week.
Wow, you were desperate.
Of course, I'm 30 this year, so I wanted to find a husband, which I did. A word of advice: guys love younger women, so don't be frustrated if no guys want to hook up with you, okay?
I
had no idea that my happiness was so close. A rich husband, diamond ring, and I'm planning to buy a huge mansion.
Will James buy it for you?
Nope, actually, his parents will.
What?
This is the life of a rich family, Emily. I am so excited. I am such a winner in life.
He doesn't have parents, by the way.
What?
So I think the huge mansion is out of the question.
Wait, what do you mean he doesn't have parents? He still does. I met with them when we announced our marriage.
I never said they were dead. They got ties with him.
What are you talking about?
Think about it. Cheating with a fiance's best friend and making a joke of being the second husband. This definitely will make anyone pissed.
What?
His parents said that they don't need a stupid-ass son, so they cut ties right after talking to me.
Wait, James made a joke of being the second husband?
Yeah, he thought that I still loved him after 3 years. But I, of course, said no.
Wait, so he wants to keep you while he is married to me? What the fuck? Wait, stop lying to me. Why is this happening? All he did was call off the engagement.
Did you really just say that?
Yes, didn't you hear me? All he did was meet the love of his life, which is me, and called off the engagement just before the wedding. Why would his parents cut ties? They are terrible parents because he should be taking over their company.
Just because they are blood related doesn't mean that he will take over. What year are you living in?
Huh?
His parents didn't want him to take over the company from a long time ago. He causes way too much trouble.
Seriously?
After I started dating James, his parents told me many times that the company will not be family owned. So if you want to be a boss's wife, you should find someone else.
What?
Let's be honest here. Do you think that James will be a good CEO with that attitude and the things he says? If the parents really wanted him to take over, he should have been raised strictly.
You're right.
His parents raised him freely, but taught manners first. In the beginning, I was worried because he doesn't know the real world. But I was told from his parents that if he causes some kind of trouble, they have money, so I don't need to worry about anything. This is the reason why I decided to marry him. They also told me to tell them if something happened.
Wait, do not tell me that you snitched about us being friends and how I stole James away from you to his parents.
That's exactly what I did. I wanted you to pay the consolation money for infidelity, but his parents paid me, saying they blamed themselves for raising a horrible person and how they were done with him.
What? Are you serious?
Yep, so, yeah. Good luck with everything. 2 hours later.
Emily, my parents are yelling at me. Please help me. They told me that I can't take over the company and how they're going to cut ties with me. All I did was call off the engagement.
Wow. You just said the same thing as Brittany. You don't know how serious this is, do you?
I just broke up with you. That's it. Why can't I use my credit card? I also just got fired from the affiliated company of my parents. I thought that I would be taking over my parents' company, but that's not happening. Why?
Maybe this is a good time to think about it.
What?
You have a brain, so think about what you did and why it happened.
If I apologise, would things be the same as before? Will my parents forgive me? Will they let me take over the company?
How should I know? They are your parents, not mine. You know them best.
What should I do? Once they say something, they mean it.
Why don't you ask Brittany? Well, this is not my problem, so I will excuse myself. The next day.
Emily, please help me. James' parents really cut ties with him. I can't live a celebrity life anymore. He's crying right now because he doesn't have a job and don't have money that he can use for whatever he wants.
Isn't it your job to comfort and help him? Aren't you his wife?
Why should I do that? I'm the one who wants to cry. My celebrity life just ended with a blink of an eye. I also got an invoice with a large amount of money on it.
Invoice?
James's parents sent it to us. It's actually the consolation money they paid you. They said they paid for me, so I need to pay back.
Oh, that sucks. I received $10 million, by the way.
I know that. Why do I need to pay back? They paid it with their own will but decided to send me an invoice for it later on. Oh, come on. They even sent me an invoice for the wedding ring. It's only been a few days since getting married and I'm in tens of thousands of debts already. I don't deserve this.
Oh, wow. That really sucks. Is the ring you're talking about the one you were boasting about?
Yes, that ring with the huge diamond on it. I thought that James paid it from his own money, but it was actually his parents.
Oh.
The parents said that they have no intention of paying it. What should I do, Emily? Please help me. I wanted to return the ring, but the store told me no refund, so I had no choice but to pay back James's parents.
You should stop acting like a victim. James's parents and the people at the ring shop didn't do anything wrong. It was wrong of you guys not paying from your own money.
I don't want to pay this. I just got married. I can't believe this.
Then why don't you get a divorce? He's so broke, so he can't help you.
I know that, but I can't. I finally got married at 30 years old, so I don't want to get divorced this fast.
Okay. Good luck then. If you live in a cheap apartment, maybe you should be able to save up money and pay back his parents someday.
No, please. Why are you being such a bitch? Aren't we friends? Don't you have kind words like, I should lend you money, or do you want to stay at my place? I am in trouble. You don't want to help me?
What friend?
What?
I don't have a friend anymore. I don't have a friend since someone stole my fiancé away from me.
Oh,
I guess I should be going now. Since you are not my friend anymore, I will block you.
No, please. Emily!
Bye. I'm sure you will be happy with your life. Try not to end up like James, okay? After the incident, I blocked both Brittany and James. Since then, nothing has happened and I am living a peaceful life. On the other hand, they had to sell whatever they had and worked hard to pay off the debt, but still had debt of $2 million. James started panicking and called every friend on his phone to see if there were any jobs that they can offer him, but was told from James's parents not to help him. So, he went to Brittany's company and started to work there, and looks like they are working hard. He is getting yelled at almost every day from the boss who is younger than him for making the same mistake. Brittany is getting disgusted with him, but every single day, she says, "My marriage is not a mistake. I deserve to be happy in the end." Sorry, but I have to laugh at this. Hi, Bella. Thank you so much for coming over today. It was great to finally be able to meet my son's girlfriend. You were a very, very interesting person, honey. I seriously did not expect someone like you to show up. I know my son's a hassle, but it would be amazing if you could take good care of him.
I was very glad to have been able to meet you too. And of course, I'll do my best to make sure he's the happiest man in the world.
Oh, thank you, honey. I cannot wait for your wedding. But before that, of course, me and my husband would be delighted to be able to meet your parents. I would like to bring a small present with me for them. Would you have any suggestions as to what we should bring them? How about their favorite drink? Do they drink any type of alcohol?
Thank you so much. Yes, especially my mother. I recently heard from her that she's very into wine right now.
Oh my, I love wine too. I'm sure we'll make wonderful friends. Could I ask what your father likes to drink? Let me guess. Is it beer? All men like beer. Or could it be something like Japanese sake?
Actually, I don't have a father. I was raised single-handedly by my mother.
What? Is that so?
Yes. I know I should have told you earlier on, and I'm sorry. I was so nervous that I completely forgot to tell you.
So this single mother situation. Since when was this? And may I ask why your father is absent?
My father died right after I was born. It was a car accident. I've been raised by my mother ever since. The first memory I have is one without my father.
Right after you were born. So you've never truly experienced living in a household where there's a father present?
Technically, yes, but my relatives all came together to help my mother raise me, so my uncles are something very close to a father to me. They're the ones who showed up to my school ceremonies and graduations.
That is not the same thing as having a father. Oh my, I cannot believe my son is getting married to a woman who's never had a father.
I'm sorry?
This means you were raised in a very poor environment, correct? This cannot be happening. My son is getting married to a peasant.
A peasant?
How dare you hide something so important from me up until now? You should be ashamed of yourself. You were intending to keep it a secret until the marriage was complete, weren't you? How spiteful you people are.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Johnson. I had absolutely no intention in hiding anything from you. I truly did just forget to tell you. And Patrick knows all about the situation of my household, so I assumed you'd heard about it from him already.
Are you blaming my son for this? I have not heard a single word from him about this situation. If I had been given knowledge about this, I wouldn't have allowed you to come meet me and my husband today.
What?
Oh, what should we do? Judging from the way you're a peasant without the father, I assume you hadn't been given a proper higher education, correct? I cannot let a nuisance like that come into my household. This is unacceptable.
Please calm down. I'm sorry to say this, but you're clearly overreacting about me only having a mother. Some of your stereotypes are simply not true.
What do you mean, stereotypes? All of the things I've spoken up until now are simply facts. A family is consisted of a mother and father and their children. A family without either of the parents is therefore incomplete. You don't know how a normal family looks like, and therefore you don't know how a wife must treat her husband. My son is the one who is going to suffer in the long run if we accept an incomplete woman like you as his wife.
I don't even know what to say to that. My father has a valid reason to be absent. There are millions of kids all over this country who are missing a parent, and sometimes even both. Could you please be a bit more understanding towards my circumstances?
No, I cannot. This is not a matter of understanding. This is the bare minimum that I ask from a woman who is going to be my son's wife. I was born in a normal household with two parents. My parents were both very kind, and our family was very wealthy. Thanks to that, I was able to learn not only how a mother and a father should treat their kids, but also how a wife must treat her husband. In the end, I was able to find my own husband and treat him with the care I learned from my parents, and we are happily living after. Imagine what life would be like with a wife who doesn't know how to properly treat her husband. We live in far too different worlds, honey.
Different worlds?
Yes, you need to be raised normally to provide your family a normal and happy life. But I'm sorry, but you were just born in the same normal world as us. I'm sure that you were very poor, and your mother was probably very unkind towards you. And now my son is going to marry someone who's only lived in that kind of world? Unacceptable! We need a family meeting this instant.
Does this mean that you're going to reconsider whether you're allowing my marriage with Patrick or not?
Of course we're going to have to reconsider. I simply cannot accept the thought of my son getting myself into a marriage with someone like you.
You were telling me about how pleasantly surprised you were to see me just minutes ago. You even told me that you were glad to have been able to meet me. Does that all change simply from the fact that I was raised without a father?
I don't like to repeat myself. Please do not contact me until a family meeting has ended. And no matter what happens, blame fate for giving birth to you in a single-parent household.
Hello, Bella. I'm so very sorry about all of the meaningless things you had to hear from my wife. Just ridiculous. I'd like to meet you and apologize in person. Is there a date and time where I can please come and see you?
There's absolutely nothing to worry about, Mr. Johnson. I accept your apology through text. Similar things happen very often when you're raised by a widow. But I would like to know what the decision was after your family meeting. Am I going to be rejected as your son's wife?
Of course not. I would absolutely love to greet you into our family as Patrick's wife.
Are you sure?
Of course. Please don't mind anything that my wife says. You're a very kind soul, and I see you as a perfect fit with my son. If anything, I'd like to ask you if you really want to choose our son out of all the fish out there. I cannot wait to see you two get married at the wedding.
You don't know how much that means to me, Mr. Johnson. Thank you so much. So we can continue with the process of completing the marriage, correct?
Absolutely. I can't wait to see the mother who raised such an amazing young lady. I've given my schedule for the next month to Patrick, so it would be great if you could please discuss a date with your mother.
I'll be right on it. Again, thank you so much for being so understanding.
No, I'd like to thank you for being so understanding. Your mother is a nurse, right? I'm sure she's very busy with night shifts and everything, so please feel free to give us any date. I'm sure I'll be able to make some adjustments with my company's schedule if necessary.
Thank you. I'll make sure to tell her that.
By the way, I heard from my son recently that your mother works at a hospital in the town nearby.
Yeah, she works at a city-run hospital in the town next by. My mother was originally born and raised there, but she had to leave after getting married with my father. After I was finally a legal adult, she said that she wanted to go back, and that's how the two of us ended up coming back.
I see. So she's originally from the town next door. And she's a nurse. Is her name Julie by any chance?
Actually, it is.
Was her last name Roberts before she got married to your father?
Wow. Her last name was Roberts, actually. How did you know?
I can't believe it. Her and I used to go to the same high school. We're actually from the same grade and same class.
You were in the same class as her?
Yeah, you could ask her if you like. If she remembers a boy with glasses who played the tuba in band. I'm sure she'll be very surprised to hear that you're marrying my son.
I've heard from her that she used to be a part of the band too.
A small world we live in, huh? There weren't many male members, so it was really uncomfortable having to play in the middle of a bunch of girls. Your mother really helped break the ice between us male members and the girls. I can't remember how many times she saved me from awkward situations.
I cannot wait to ask my mother about this. I'll ask her right away when I get home today.
Please tell her that I'm very looking forward to seeing her again. I heard rumors that her husband had passed away, and she suddenly stopped coming to the class reunions, so I've always wanted to know if she was doing well.
I'll make sure to tell her.
Oh, and also, please keep this whole story a secret from my wife, please. She's especially sensitive towards me knowing other women, even if they're friends that I've known since elementary school. She hates the thought of me socializing with the other girls.
My mouth is zipped. I'll make sure to let Patrick know when we decide on a date, if that's fine.
Absolutely.
Again, thank you for saving me yesterday.
Of course, I'll make sure that my wife understands. And I'll make sure that something like yesterday never happens again. I look forward to our future as family, Bella.
Bella, could I ask you who decided on the restaurant that we went today? Because the food tasted like nothing.
Yes, Mrs. Johnson, that would be me. My friend recommended it to me. I'm sorry if it didn't match your taste very well.
That makes sense. It was you who chose the restaurant, I see. Being raised by only your mother, I'm sure you weren't able to go out to eat very often.
I'm sorry if I upset you.
I just wanted to let you know that I haven't accepted you as my son's wife, Bella. I'm just stepping back because good parents don't make decisions for their children. I'm just keeping my mouth shut about this because I'm a great mother.
Thank you for that, Mrs. Johnson. I'll work hard so one day you might accept me as your son's wife.
I doubt that day will ever come, honey. I don't think I've ever accepted a person coming from a single-parent household. I wanted to clear something about the wedding. Do you have some time?
Yes? What could that be?
Well, we spoke a little about the wedding when we were at the restaurant with your mother today, right? And I thought I heard you say that you wanted to invite all of your friends and have it make into a big party.
I didn't mean to say that I wanted to make it into a big party. I just wanted to invite as many of the people who have supported me up until this point as possible. I really wouldn't have made it this far if it weren't for all of them. This may be the best chance that I'll get to show them my appreciation.
Of course, I'm sure that you and your mother have caused a lot of trouble for many people up until this point in your life. I'm sure you'll have to thank them thoroughly for that. Pardon me? I'd like to ask you for just one favor regarding that wedding. I do not want your mother at the wedding no matter what. Keep this promise no matter what happens.
Why wouldn't I invite my own mother to my wedding? She's one of the most important people in my whole life.
Regardless of whether she's the mother of the bride, I do not want that kind of female to be even close to me. She's going to ruin the whole thing by just being there. My precious son's wedding.
Could I ask what you didn't like about my mother? Did she say something rude?
I don't like anything about that lady. She was acting all cocky because she's a nurse. I'm confident that she was making fun of me the whole time because I was just a housewife.
What?
And the way she would flirt with every guy she saw, just because she doesn't have a husband. You saw the way she was flirting with the male waitress, didn't you? How vulgar of her, getting all excited because he was young.
I'm sorry, but I don't think I saw her being that excited like you're saying.
What do you mean you didn't see her? Ask anyone and they'd tell you how excited she was. I mean, who orders their food like that? You can't tell me that you didn't heard how she raised the tone of her voice whenever she spoke to the waiter. And the way she locked onto that young man to serve our table.
My mother did nothing of such nature.
Yes, she did. And you know what? She was also looking at my husband with flirtatious eyes.
What?
The way the two of them were speaking while gazing into each other's eyes with a grin on their mouth. Disgusting. Just what you'd expect from a filthy widow. How dare she try to lay her hands on another woman's man?
Isn't it normal to look into someone's eyes when you speak to them?
I don't want to hear any excuses, and I will not tolerate seeing that filthy woman's face ever again. So, you may not bring her to my son's wedding no matter the circumstance. Your peasant mother wouldn't be able to bring a single present for you two anyways. A wedding is not a place to beg for free food and entertainment.
You know what, Mom? Why don't you stay at home for our wedding?
What?
If you hate Bella's mother so much, then do yourself a favor and stay at home so that you won't have to see her. Out of everyone who's invited, you're the most unworthy to even be at our son and Bella's wedding. I've had enough of your stupid jokes, Marie.
Honey? Is that you? How are you talking through Bella's phone?
That's because we haven't left the restaurant yet. I'm still right next to her.
What?
I was having some coffee with Bella and her mother Julie after you and Patrick left. Just to see you harassing my soon-to-be daughter-in-law like this. How dare you say any of those things? Have you gone insane? Do you really not realize how much of an embarrassment you're being to our whole family?
Wait a minute. Why are you having tea time alone with that lady and her daughter? You traitor! How dare you call another woman by her first name like that?
There's nothing wrong with what I'm doing. And what's the issue with calling a classmate that I've known for decades by her first name?
Classmates? You two were classmates?
Yes, I've known Julie since high school. She's always been a very nice friend of mine. I hadn't heard from her since we graduated, and we were having a great time catching up. Until you texted Bella and ruined it. I'm deeply ashamed of your words and actions.
You bring this up just now? Why on earth didn't you tell me that you two knew each other so well?
Why didn't you tell me you still haven't accepted Bella as our new daughter? Last time we had this conversation, you told me how you thought you were completely in the wrong and that you'll gladly accept her as our wife's son and as our own daughter. What happened to all of that?
Well,
Julie lost her precious husband in a car accident. But you know what she did? She worked hard and sacrificed everything for her daughter. And that daughter is now an amazing person, one of the best people who I've ever spoken to. And you say those horrible things about them. Shame on you. We're going to have a very, very long conversation about this when I get home. I'm so sorry about my wife yesterday. Could you please apologize to Julie as well for me?
It's completely fine, Mr. Johnson. She's already received a very thorough apology from Patrick, and my mother isn't upset at all about this.
I'd still like to formally apologize about this. And please don't mind anything that she said about you bringing your mother to the wedding. In fact, I'll make sure that my wife doesn't get to go.
What? Are you sure about this?
Of course I'm sure. She tried to keep your mother from going. Why would she deserve to be there? And I need both you and my son to smile and appreciate the moment with nothing to worry about. She's someone that might get in the way of that, so she can stay at home. Besides, your mother would want to concentrate fully on her daughter in a beautiful dress as well.
Thank you so much for your kindness. My mother seemed to be very excited to have been able to meet you again. So much that she's been looking for a tuba class to start playing again.
That's wonderful. She could play for all of us at the wedding.
I'll make sure to let my mother know about that request. Again, thank you so much for what you did for us yesterday. I'll be looking forward to seeing you again at the wedding.
Let me in. Open this door right now. I'm the mother of the groom, for Christ's sake. How dare you keep me from entering? I went out of my way to come all the way here alone. I deserve to be let inside. Or else I'll spread a rumor that your dirty little mother is trying to steal my husband from me.
Mrs. Johnson. Mr. Johnson was the one who decided that we shouldn't let you in today. If you have anything to say, then please talk to your husband.
Shut up! You will let me in right now, or else I will spread that rumor that I was talking about. Everyone would believe me instead of a widow and her daughter. You're going to regret not letting me in for the rest of your life.
I'm very confident that what you said right now will not happen. So please, Go home. I cannot keep playing your little games.
What did you just say to me?
Not a soul in this wedding hall would believe someone like you more than someone like my mother. Thanks to her likable personality, she's basically best friends with all of your relatives already. That's how she was able to receive so much support in the process of raising me.
What?
To my surprise, apparently she's already known most of your relatives from work. The perks of being a nurse, I suppose. They have endless stories to talk about, like how your mother was once taken care of by my mother when she was hospitalized, or how your uncle knew my mother's boss through work. It is truly a very, very small world we live in. It seems like she's getting closer with your relatives than I, the bride myself.
What? How is that possible? A lady like that?
Yes, a lady like that. I saw her trade numbers and make promises to get dinner together with some people a while ago. So I'm sure everyone will know that you're lying as soon as they hear that story.
I don't understand. Why would everyone be so friendly with the mother of a single-parent household? You're just a peasant, a beggar.
Mrs. Johnson, could you please tell me why you keep making the same mistakes over and over again?
What?
I've sent screenshots of this whole conversation to Mr. Johnson and Patrick. And I've also let them know that you're trying to break into the wedding right now.
Are you kidding me? How do you think my husband's going to react to that? He told me that this was my last chance. Please.
I have a wedding to participate in, so I'll be going now.
Wait! Bella, I promise that I'll be quiet for the whole wedding. Please just let me in. I need to see my son.
I don't want you ruining my wedding anymore, so that won't be happening. I just received a reply from Mr. Johnson. He says he'll take care of you immediately.
He called the police on me!
Well then, I'm sure they'll keep you occupied for the meantime. Goodbye then. I'll be busy having the time of my life. The wedding was carried out successfully, and me and Patrick were able to become happily married. Apparently, Mr. Johnson told the police that he would take over after they caught Mrs. Johnson, and she ended up being taped up in a back room somewhere in the building. After the wedding, she was scolded by all of her relatives for saying the things she said, and she spent the remainder of the night crying while me and my husband were having a blast. Apparently, Mrs. Johnson would act in a condescending way to a lot of her relatives and friends, and this was the final straw. Mr. Johnson also took this very seriously and made Mrs. Johnson promise that she would never show herself to me and my husband ever again, and even sign a contract saying that she would accept divorce if she did. Thanks to all of those things, me and my husband will be able to live our new marriage life together without any worries.
Hi, sorry for the sudden message. I was wondering if I could please have a talk with you sometime soon. Hey Lisa, of course you can. As a matter of fact, I'm not too busy right now, so you can ask right away. What did you need to talk about? Thank you so much. It's about my marriage. You know how I'm getting married next month, right? Well, me and my fiancé have been thinking, would you mind if my husband and I were to move in with you after the paperwork is done? We'll take care of everything, so all we need is permission from you. Move in with me? I mean, I'd be happy to have you two move in with me, but wouldn't you two want a bit of privacy? Especially right after your marriage. Are you okay with having your mother-in-law around all the time? And my house doesn't have the best access to any urban cities nearby either. No worries about any of that. Ryan was very worried about you. About how you'd be completely isolated from your social life if you got married and moved out. As the single child of you, he seems pretty concerned about leaving you all alone. So I thought that the best choice to make was for all of us to move in with you. I mean, I really am very happy about how much you two care for me, but that's just too much to ask for a newlywed couple. I'm totally fine with living alone. So please, enjoy your marriage together, honey. Please, we talked this through and both insist that this is the best decision for us to make. To be honest, being able to live with you has its upsides for us as well. If we're able to live with you, we'll have less bills to pay, and we're thinking of using that extra money to save up for our wedding. Oh, really? Are you going to start saving up for the wedding starting now? I thought you two were going to have the wedding by the end of the year, since you were getting married next month. Yes, that was our initial goal, but the savings haven't been adding up too well for us. So we're thinking that the wedding will be pushed back to next year, at the earliest. I've been trying to pay back for my scholarships at the same time, but it hasn't been working out too well. I see. I didn't know you had scholarships to pay back. The truth is, my grandparents both fell very ill right before my senior year of high school started. After that, we had lots of bills to pay, regarding their hospitalization and nursery. At one point, my parents told me to give up on getting a college education and to start working to help out with the bills. But I was very stubborn about the decision and had them let me go into college. As a trade-off, they made me promise that I would pay for all of my college fees with scholarships. All of it, meaning a full 4 years? And you're paying it all back by yourself? Yes, but this was all what I signed up for myself, so I have no regrets. Ryan had his college fees paid for by his parents, right? Sometimes I get jealous about those households. My husband saved up for his education little by little. It was difficult to keep paying after he passed away, but we came through the 4 years somehow. Ryan must be very proud of his father as well. If only we had another $3,000, we would be able to carry out the wedding as soon as we wanted. The goal seems so close, but is so far away in reality. So, the both of us would be extremely grateful to have you allow us live with you. We wouldn't have to pay nearly as much rent, and I'm sure we can manage to work hard to save up on groceries and utility fees. I'll make sure to eat nothing but plain pieces of bread and frozen peas. What? Of course, and I'll make sure not to make your son take part in this. I'll be sure to cut down on my spendings alone. It's my fault that the money that could be saving up isn't being saved up, so... But don't worry, I'll make delicious meals for the two of you every meal of the day. Don't mind my cheap meals right beside you. How could I not mind that, honey? It wouldn't be natural to see that only one of you were working hard to save up on money while the other was spending away. Please, there's nothing to be concerned about here. I'll make sure not to flush the toilet more than once a day, and I'll only take a shower once a week. But ignore me and carry on with your lives, please. It only makes sense that me, the one with the debt, is working hard to save up money to pay it back. Honey, any normal human being wouldn't be able to bear to watch that happen in their own house. Look, if you would like me to, I could help out a bit with your payments. I'll pay for the $3,000 that you're missing right now. Oh, what? Really? I mean, it's not an amount that would affect my life forever. And you two are going to sacrifice your privacy together to live with me. So I'd love to help out such a nice person like you. It seems like the right decision for me to make at this point. Really? Thank you so much. I'll make sure to send $3,000 to you then, okay? I'll hand it to you when you have your wedding. Wait, if possible, could you please make that $5,000? To tell the truth, we've been thinking that at least $5,000 is necessary for us to carry on with a decent lifestyle after the payments are done. I mean, I'm sure that $5,000 is nothing to you. What? Was I getting ahead of myself? If it's enough to burden you, then I would hate to do that to you. All I need to do is live the extreme save-up life that I was talking about earlier for a few months. Then I'll finally be free. Free from plain slices of bread and water and showers once a week. I'll make sure to get through this and show you a smile on my face. Someday. All right. I'll pay the $5,000. So, please, don't force yourself into a dehumanizing lifestyle like that. Who in their right mind would allow someone living with them to treat themselves like that? Oh, yay! Thank you so much! Now I'll be able to have my wedding. I'm so lucky to have such a nice mother-in-law. Oh, I'll go to the tailor to design on my dress right away.
I heard from Lisa about the money. You're really giving us $5,000?
Yes.
This is unreal. Thank you so much, Mom.
Don't worry about it, honey. It's the least I could do. I mean, I'd be happy to pay even more after making you guys move in with me in a house in the middle of nowhere. On top of that, I couldn't stand myself just to listen about Lisa's hardships and current struggles. I have no choice but to help her out.
Hardships?
Yeah, about her grandparents falling ill before her going to college. I heard she had to pay for her full 4 years through scholarships because of that. I mean, college fees are on the rise and the internet rates are ridiculous too. I couldn't just leave her to solve all of those problems by herself.
What are you talking about? Lisa's grandparents passed away when she was just a toddler.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Her grandparents from both her mother and father's sides passed away soon after she was born. So, I'm not too sure what you're talking about, because that's definitely not Lisa.
But she told me those things just now. And that she had to give up on college education at one point because of those hardships. But she pushed through.
Maybe you read the messages wrong. Or maybe you're misunderstanding something about the story, because I went over to her house to introduce myself to her parents, and they showed me pictures of Lisa's grandparents while explaining what had happened to them.
What?
Why don't I talk to Lisa and see if there's some type of misunderstanding going on here?
No problem. This is probably my misunderstanding, so I'll apologize in advance. Sorry. I just bought a new pair of glasses, and my eyes are probably still adjusting. Maybe that's what caused me to misinterpret something she said.
That's probably the case. Wow, even my mother ages too, huh?
Sadly, yes, honey. So it really does help to have you two live with me. You can move in whenever you'd like after you're officially married. I'll be sure to clean out the house and be ready.
Thanks, Mom. All right, I'll contact you again sometime soon. Take care.
Sorry to interrupt you during your after party, Lisa. Ryan wouldn't pick up his phone no matter how many times I called, so I had to reach out to you. Hello, Mrs. Stewart. How can I help you? Did you leave something behind at the wedding hall? No, it's not about that, honey. The door to my house wouldn't open. I got home just now, but the key doesn't seem to be working. It's an old key, so it may have chipped somewhere and stopped working. Could I stop by your party and borrow the key that I gave you? Oh, about that. Please don't worry about the keys. I changed the lock to the house. So you won't be able to get into the house anymore, Mrs. Stewart. Pardon me? If you'll take a look around, I think you'll see that we've left your stuff outside. So please take those things and leave the perimeter and find another place to stay at. Since we got the wedding done with, the house is ours starting today. We don't need you to be there or invade our privacy, please. Thank you. Wait a minute. Am I missing something here? Why would I move out of my own house? And it's very rude of you to just dump my stuff outside. It's a message. We're trying to communicate that we don't need you anymore, Mrs. Stewart. Thank you for believing in my obvious lies up until now. I didn't think you'd be so gullible, but I guess I was wrong. No wonder cases of fraud towards old people won't go down. All you have to do is give them a mildly believable story and guilt trip them, and boom, money. What? So, the story about your student debts? And that you weren't able to save up money for the wedding because of it? Those were all lies? Not all of them were lies. That's the key to make it all believable. I was lying about having student debts, but it's true that saving up money was getting hard for us. What? Yeah, I've always been bad at saving money since I was little, for some reason. I knew that I needed $5,000 to have the wedding of my dreams, but I just couldn't stop buying things for myself, you know? But Ryan's strict with his money, so he would tell me that he wouldn't pay for half of the wedding fees if those were my reasons. So he'd only pay his half. Could you believe it? That's when I got the idea to have his mother pay for my half if he wouldn't. So you lied to me about all of those things. You used your own grandparents as leverage to make me feel bad about not helping, and you made me give you $5,000. I mean, you wouldn't have paid me if I just asked you to pay me, would you? So I had no choice but to lie and make you pay. But I mean, I even told you that I would live with you if you paid for me, so I took my own risks. How could you do this to your own husband's mother? Manipulating people and taking advantage of their kindness for your own benefit? If you don't need me anymore, then why don't you two just move out instead of me? You got what you wanted, so pack up your things and leave my house this instant. This is my house, and I have no intention in leaving. Actually, I kind of fell in love with that house the moment I saw it. At first, I was intending to leave the house as soon as the wedding was done, but the house is actually very nice and the view from the balcony is beautiful. Therefore, I want the house too, so please leave the house, Mrs. Stewart. Your argument makes no sense. The house is a bit old, but I'm sure that a bit of renovation would make it even more beautiful. To tell you the truth, I've actually called a professional and booked a renovation for the house. So this house is mine now. Please move out. What? You're gonna move into some nursery in a few years anyways, right? Just like my grandparents did. So what's the point in holding on to the house right now? It's too big for an old lady to live alone in anyways. So the two younglings will make great use of it. You're unbelievable. So these are your true colors, huh? I still can't believe it. I thought we were both enjoying living together. I was enjoying your company, to say the least. But I guess that was all lies. I thought you were worried for my well-being. But I guess all you had in mind is taking money away from me. The one who gets tricked is always more faulty than the one who tricks them. I've already received every cent that I need from you. We don't need you anymore, so please get going. You're the one who's gonna move out, you idiot. What? This is why I don't like young people. They underestimate the elderly. How dare you even think of taking my house and my money away from me like this? Do you really think I'm just gonna let you have it your way? I'm going to spend the night at a hotel today, but I will be back. Be prepared. Don't expect to be able to go into the house once you come back. What? Did you just call me an idiot? That isn't like you, Mrs. Stewart. You think this isn't like me? What does a brat like you know about me? You have no idea what happens when you become my enemy. What? Well then, please have fun at your after party. In other words, have fun while you can, honey. Mrs. Stewart, pick up right now. What is this? Who are these people? I don't know what you're talking about. I just came home with Ryan from the party. We ended up staying out until this morning. And we came home and everyone from around the neighborhood is surrounding our house. They're all cursing us out about how they don't want us in the neighborhood. We couldn't even go inside because so many people were blocking the door. We ran away and came to a cafe nearby. What do you know about this? Oh my, They were this quick to do their job? I have such amazing neighbors. What is all of this? What's going on? And how do all of them know that I made you move out of your house? Because I told all of them. Isn't it obvious? That you were the girl who lied to me about your upbringings and tricked me into paying money to you. I told them every single detail about this incident. What? Yes, I told them all about our moving in together as soon as the decision was made. And I received tons of advice from all kinds of neighbors. Some who have moved in with someone before, and some who have moved in but ended up splitting because it didn't work out. I wanted some tips and do's and don'ts upon moving in with someone. And I told them about you during the process. How a very nice young lady was moving into my house as the wife of my son. So I needed to be a nice mother-in-law as well. You know, since I heard that a lot of people are scared of their mother-in-laws. You were acting as if you were a nice person because you wanted money from me. But I was acting as a nice person because my neighbors advised me to do so. What? Did you believe in my nice mother-in-law character? Did I seem like a fragile, gullible mother-in-law? Well, all of that was just me acting like that was who I was because I felt bad about going hard on you. If I wasn't acting, I would have called you an idiot for not trying harder to save up. And I most definitely would not have cared if you were struggling alone in my house to save up. What do you mean, character? And of course, all of my neighbors know who I truly am. And they were really supporting me for working so hard to be the nice mother-in-law that I thought would be what you needed the most right now. Everyone was ecstatic when they heard the whole living together thing was going well. And you decided to try and kick me out of my own house after all of my effort. After all of our effort. And you made the cruelest lie and took my money in the process. No wonder all of my neighbors are enraged by you right now. No, it makes no sense. Why would your neighbors get angry at us? You people are just neighbors. Why would your neighbors get so involved in the business of someone else? Whether you like it or not, that's the cost of living in a small rural town. News goes around quick, and everyone takes it personally. Try living there if you can, you wuss. But given how all of the neighbors are so united about getting revenge on you two, I'm not sure whether you could take it.
Mom, look, I'm so sorry about all of this. I just heard everything from Lisa. I didn't know anything about her life, about the scholarships and everything. I never even thought that my fiancé would do such a thing and take money from my mom. I'm so sorry.
I don't need an apology right now. I need my house. Either give me a key to the new lock, or change the lock back to the one that I have the key to. Hurry up and make a choice.
Look, I made a call and changed the lock back to the old one right away. I'm pretty sure the key that you have right now will open the door.
Great. I'll head home then. And I'll dump all of your belongings onto the front lawn as soon as I get there. You don't mind, do you?
Of course not. We'll move out somewhere during the day today. But for now, I think I'll have a long talk with Lisa about our future together. So I might take a while to get home and pick up our stuff. Is that fine?
What do you mean your future together? Aren't you getting divorced?
Of course I am. She just tried to trick my own mother into giving her money. I never thought she was that kind of person. I'll see you later, Mom.
Look what you've done! It's still the day after our wedding and we're already getting divorced. This is all your fault. Ryan wouldn't listen to a single word I had to say. He'd just tell me that his love for me is long gone and that he wants a divorce right now. I mean, what did you expect after what you did to me? You literally lied to trick your husband's mother into paying you money. If anything, I can't believe you didn't think of the risks that come along with doing such a thing. But he told me when he proposed to me that he would love me no matter what, and that he would take care of me through anything. He even told me that if anything ever came up between you and I, he would side with me. So I thought he would be on my side, no matter what I did. I don't think you're seeing the point here. This isn't about you and I having a conflict. This is about your morals as a person, and you trying to trick a person into giving you money. You know what? I'm giving you the $5,000 back. So please, help me convince Ryan to stay together with me. I would rather die than have to get a divorce. I'll do anything. So please, just help me this once. You don't need to give me the $5,000 that I gave you. It's against my beliefs to take back something that I once gave to a person. But in exchange, I need you to never show up in front of me again. Can you do that for me? What do you mean? What should I do from now on then? We already had a talk with the company about the renovation of the house that you're living in right now. I just finished the payment for the initial fee to start off the construction last week. What? You already paid for them to start working? Judging from what I heard from Ryan, I don't think he even knows about this whole renovation thing. It was supposed to be a surprise. I was going to tell him after making you leave the house for the two of us. I didn't think things would end up like this. What should I do now? I already paid the company $10,000. How stupid could a person be? Seriously, I don't even know what to say to you. I mean, your loss, I guess. Please help me, please. I'll be sure to be the best wife and daughter-in-law from now on. I promise. So please, just help me convince Ryan and tell the neighbors that the kicking out thing was all just a big misunderstanding. I can't tell my parents that I ended up getting a divorce on the day after my wedding. Don't worry, honey. I'm sure you can. You have the guts to try and manipulate your own husband's mother. I'm sure you'll be able to pull that off. There's nothing to be afraid of if you can do that. Please. I'll get going then. Oh yeah, make sure to come pick up your stuff off my lawn as soon as you can. If you don't come by the end of next week, I'll just throw everything away. What? Goodbye. I'm sure the neighbors wouldn't take your visit kindly, but I'm confident you'll make it out alive, honey. It's all your own fault anyways. You'll be fine. Good luck and goodbye. My son officially divorced Lisa after that. Ryan was very apologetic towards my neighbors, so he went around each house and apologized for everything he had gotten them into. But many of my neighbors scolded him for his lack of ability in choosing a decent woman, telling him to straighten up. On the other hand, Lisa also came back to the neighborhood with her parents, going around and apologizing to each and every single person living nearby. Apparently, she's currently on a trip to find herself by traveling around the country. However, even after this whole scandal, we found out that she was going around and using the same trick on her own friends, causing her to lose all connections with everyone she knew up until then. I heard she's been kicked out of her parents' house, living a lonely life in an apartment somewhere.